The night had grown quiet over Lagos, though the city never truly slept. Cars still hummed on distant roads, nightlife buzzed in certain corners, and laughter occasionally broke through the air. But in Obena's luxurious duplex, time seemed to have frozen. Maria stood by the window of the master bedroom, the faint city lights bouncing off her caramel skin. She wore a simple yet elegant flowing gown in royal blue, the kind that shimmered softly under the glow of the night. Her long, wavy hair cascaded down her shoulders, framing her face in gentle curls. Yet her eyes, those deep ocean eyes, seemed troubled. For weeks now, she had hidden her true identity from Obena. Yes, she had transformed fully into a human woman, vibrant and breathtaking, but the ocean still called to her. Some nights when he slept, she would slip away to the beach, whispering to the waves, seeking reassurance that her choice was not a betrayal of her kind. Tonight was different. Tonight, her heart was heavy because she knew something Obena did not. Their love had reached a turning point. Earlier that evening, Obena had taken her to a rooftop restaurant in Victoria Island. The night sky stretched endlessly above them, and the waves of the Atlantic roared faintly in the distance. A live band played soft highlife music, their instruments weaving melodies that touched the soul. Maria had worn a wine-colored gown with a matching gele that framed her glowing face. She looked every bit the queen she truly was. Obena had never looked prouder as he held her hand and introduced her to business associates who happened to be present. Then, just as the food arrived, jollof rice, grilled fish, and peppered snails, Obena had gone down on one knee. "Maria," he said, his deep voice trembling with sincerity, "from the first moment I saw you, I knew there was something divine about you. You have brought me peace, joy, and a reason to smile every single day. Will you marry me?" The crowd erupted in applause as a diamond ring glistened in the candlelight. Maria's heart pounded. She wanted to scream yes. She wanted to leap into his arms and never let go. But in the deepest part of her, the sea roared a warning. Her people had forbidden such unions. Tears welled in her eyes as she whispered, "Yes." The crowd cheered, Obena lifted her high into the air, and for a moment all her fears melted away. But now, hours later, standing by the window of Obena's home, she couldn't silence the memory of what happened immediately after she said yes. When Obena slid the ring on her finger, she felt it. The surge of water rising in her veins, the tug of the ocean spirit deep inside her, and in that instant she heard a whisper carried by the wind. "Maria, daughter of the deep, remember the vow. To bind your heart to a man is to break the covenant of the sea. If you choose love, you lose us forever. If you choose us, you must leave him." She shivered, almost dropping the glass of wine in her hand. Obena had noticed and asked if she was okay, and she had smiled weakly, brushing it off. But now, here alone, the warning echoed louder. "Lose us forever. Leave him." She pressed her hands to her chest. "Why must love demand such sacrifice?" she whispered. The door opened softly behind her, and Obena stepped in, his broad frame dressed in a white native kaftan, his eyes, warm and steady, locked onto hers. "You've been quiet since we got back," he said, walking to her side. "Is everything okay?" Her throat tightened. How could he tell him? How could she reveal that she was no ordinary woman, but a daughter of the sea, a creature who had given up her tail and her people to stand by his side? Instead, she whispered, "Obena, if one day I had to leave, would you still love me?" He frowned, confused. "Leave? Why would you say that? You're my life now, Maria. I can't even imagine a tomorrow without you." She looked away, tears threatening to spill. His love was pure, his devotion unshakable, but fate was cruel. The following morning, Maria walked to the shoreline before dawn. The ocean stretched endlessly before her, waves crashing as though in fury. From the depths, a figure emerged, a tall woman cloaked in shimmering scales, her eyes glowing like moonlight. It was Neka, the ocean queen, the very one who had granted Maria her human form. "Maria!" Neka's voice boomed like distant thunder. "You have gone too far. Accepting his ring binds your soul to him. The sea cannot tolerate this betrayal." Maria fell to her knees in the sand. "Please, Mother of the Deep, I love him. He is kind, honorable, and pure of heart. Why must love be forbidden?" Neka's eyes softened, but only slightly. She looked out at the horizon, then back at Maria. "There may be a way, but it comes at a cost." Maria's heart raced. "Tell me." "You must choose," Neka said gravely. "To remain with him, you must cut your bond to the sea completely. You will live as a mortal, age, suffer, and die as they do. The waves will never answer you again. And if I return to the sea? Your love will vanish. He will forget you as though you never existed." The following days were torment. Maria hid her turmoil from Obina, smiling when he smiled, laughing when he laughed, but inside she was drowning. One evening, as they sat on the balcony watching the sunset, Obina held her hand and said, "Maria, promise me something." "What?" she asked softly. "Promise me that no matter what life throws at us, you won't leave. We'll face it together." Her chest tightened. He didn't know the literal meaning of his words. She leaned into him, whispering, "I promise." But deep inside, she knew the time had come. The next night, Maria returned to the ocean one last time. Neka awaited her, the waves roaring louder than ever. "Have you decided?" she asked. Maria closed her eyes, images of Obina flooding her mind. His smile, his laughter, his kindness, the way he looked at her as if he were his entire world. "Yes," she whispered, "I choose him." The ocean howled, waves crashing violently as though mourning. Then, "So be it," Neka declared. With a sweep of her hand, a brilliant light engulfed Maria. She felt the last traces of the sea rip from her soul, the whispers, the power, the eternal bond. When the light faded, she stood fully, irrevocably human. Neka's voice echoed faintly, tinged with sadness. "May your love endure where eternity could not." And then she was gone. Maria stumbled back to the house, weak but free. Obina rushed to her, alarmed. "Where have you been? I was worried sick," he exclaimed, wrapping his arms around her. She looked into his eyes, her tears flowing freely. "Obina, I chose you. No matter what happens, I am yours forever." He didn't understand the depth of her words, but he felt the truth in them. He kissed her forehead and whispered, "And I am yours." From that day, Maria lived as a woman, no longer a daughter of the sea, but a bride-to-be. She and Obina married months later in a grand celebration, friends and family dancing under the bright Nigerian sun. Maria knew she had given up eternity for love, but as she looked into her husband's eyes, she knew she had gained something greater, meaning. True love requires sacrifice. Maria gave up eternity for love, teaching us that real love is about what you are willing to give, not just what you receive. Identity and choice shape destiny. Maria chose who she wanted to be, reminding us that our choices determine our path. Love is not eternal by nature, but by effort. It must be nurtured daily to endure the tests of time. And that concludes this enchanting tale of Maria, the mermaid who chose love over eternity. What do you think? Was her sacrifice worth it? Would you give up something eternal for true love? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading
every single one. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more magical stories, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Until next time, stay inspired, stay in love, and remember, the greatest tide is the one that carries us to the hearts we belong to.